You say you want to be free from suffering, but if I take away your stress, your drama, your problems, you won't even know who you are anymore. You are so used to your pain, you wear it like a name badge. I am anxious, I am depressed, I am broken, and then you pray, please take my suffering away. This is the contradiction. You hold your pain like a treasure, and then complain that life is heavy. Look at your day. You wake up already tired. You pour coffee into a body that is begging for water and rest. You sit all day in a chair like a parked car with the engine running. You feed the body junk and then you are shocked that it behaves like junk. And when the body finally says enough, with a headache, with tension, with pain in the chest, you don't listen. You take a pill. You scroll your phone. You turn on a screen. You say, I don't want to feel this. This is like a man whose house is on fire, and he puts tape over the smoke alarm. The sound stops. The fire does not. Suffering is your smoke alarm. It is not your enemy. It is your invitation. But you have been taught to treat suffering like a criminal, arrest it, silence it, drug it, distract it. No one told you suffering is a letter from existence saying something in your life is out of tune. Look at physical suffering first. This is very simple. Your body is a machine. You put in low-quality fuel. You never clean the engine. You never take it out for a drive in the fresh air, and then you ask, why is it making such strange noises? You don't need a philosopher for that. You need a little honesty. You sit indoors under artificial light, breathing stale air, staring at glowing rectangles. You eat food that is more chemistry than life. You move less than a statue in a museum. Then, when disease comes knocking, you say, why has God punished me? God did nothing. You abused the user manual. Eat a little more food that still looks like it came from the earth. Go outside and let the sun touch your face like an old friend. Walk until your heart remembers it was made to beat, not just survive. Stretch this poor body like you stretch a sleepy cat in the morning. Half of your mystical suffering will quietly disappear with these boring, obvious things. But you don't like boring solutions. You like complicated words. You like big theories. So let me give you a big word in a small way: energy. Your body is not just bone and flesh. It is electricity. Have you noticed that when you are excited, your whole body feels like a charged phone at 100%? And when you are depressed, even your eyelids feel heavy, like the battery is at 2% and blinking red. This energy flows through you like water through a system of pipes. If the pipe is twisted, blocked, or held too tight, the water cannot flow. Disease starts where the water stops. You sit with your spine bent like a question mark over your phone. Then you complain that your mind is full of questions and your back is full of pain. Even your posture is a prayer. You are constantly praying to gravity. Take me down. Just try something silly. Sit up straight, not like a soldier, like a tree. Roots in the earth, branches in the sky. Let the breath move freely. Already the mood changes, even a little. You want to control your life. You cannot even control your sitting. And then you ask me about enlightenment. First, let us make you slightly less crooked. There is another kind of suffering, the mental one, the emotional one. Physically, you might be okay. You have a bed. You have food. You are not being chased by tigers or predators today. But inside, it is a zoo. Thoughts running in circles, old arguments replaying, imaginary conversations with people who are not even in the room. You are like a person sitting in a perfectly safe house, watching a horror movie, screaming as if the monster is actually in the kitchen. Your mind is the screen. Your thoughts are the movie. You forget you are the one holding the remote. The more you fight your thoughts, the more they fight back. You say, I must stop thinking about this, and the thought becomes louder. You are like a man trying to smooth the surface of water with his hand. The more he touches it, the more ripples he creates. This is the trap. You try to fix suffering with the same mind that created it. The mind is the thief, and you keep asking the thief to guard the house. So what is the key? Very simple. Embarrassingly simple. First, you start listening to suffering instead of arguing with it. Headache. Ask, what am I doing with this body? Tight chest. Ask, what am I carrying in my heart? Restlessness? Ask, what am I running away from inside myself? Treat suffering like an intelligent friend who speaks a rude language. The words are unpleasant. The message is useful. Second, you bring your attention back to the most basic reality, breath. The breath is the bridge between body and mind. When you are angry, the breath is fast and hot. When you are peaceful, the breath is slow and cool. You cannot jump directly from anger to peace, but you can touch the bridge. Take a slow, deep breath, not as a technique, as an experiment. Inhale as if you are taking in life fully. Exhale as if you are dropping a bag of stones you have been carrying for years. Do this a few times. The thoughts will still be there, like clouds, but something underneath becomes a little more still. Now imagine going one step deeper. You withdraw your energy from the outer noise for just a few minutes. You turn off the screens. You put the phone in another room like a misbehaving child. You sit. You close your eyes, not as an escape, but as a way of saying, for a moment, I will not chase the world. I will meet myself. You feel the breath. You feel the weight of the body on the chair, on the floor, wherever you are. You notice tension in the shoulders, in the face, in the stomach, and instead of judging it, you let it be. Slowly, like ice in warm water, it begins to melt. This simple act of gathering your energy inward is more powerful than 1,000 clever prayers recited with a scattered mind. People say, I prayed, but nothing changed. How did you pray? Like a man shouting orders from a moving train. You never stop to listen for the answer. True prayer is when your mind becomes quiet enough to receive. True meditation is when you stop trying to fix everything and allow existence to rearrange you from the inside. You don't need to control 3 worlds. Just learn to sit for 3 minutes without running away from yourself. You ask, can all my suffering disappear? I say the unnecessary suffering can. The suffering caused by your own stupidity, by your own resistance, by your own refusal to listen. Yes, that can go. But the suffering that is part of growth, part of love, part of being alive, no, that stays. A seed must crack to become a flower. If you protect the seed from every pain, it will remain hard and closed forever. When life cracks you open, you cry, why this pain? Because without that crack, your fragrance cannot escape. So do not dream of a life without any suffering. That would be a plastic life, no depth, no flavor. Instead, learn the difference. Pain that comes from life doing its work on you, welcome it. This is the surgeon cutting out the tumor. It hurts, but it heals. Pain that comes from living against your own nature, from ignoring the body, from believing every thought, from carrying ego like a bag of stones. Drop this. This is you stabbing yourself and then asking, who did this to me? In the end, all the spiritual jargon about energy and consciousness is pointing to one simple thing. You are more than this restless mind. There is a place in you that is watching the whole circus, the stress, the drama, the stories about past and future. Sometimes, just sit with that watcher. No ambition, no project, no I must become enlightened by Tuesday. Sit like a man who has been running all his life and finally says, for a moment I will just sit under this tree and breathe. In that small pause, suffering loses one of its biggest weapons, your constant cooperation. You have been doing too much, thinking too much, trying too hard to escape. For a moment, don't escape. Just be. Let the body feel what it feels. Let the mind think what it thinks. You stay as the space in which it all happens. From that space, slowly, gently, a new intelligence arises. You start eating differently, not because a book told you, but because your body whispers, enough of this. You move more, not because a fitness app shamed you, but because your legs remember they were meant to dance. You rest without guilt. You breathe with awareness, and then something strange happens. Suffering is still there sometimes. Life still brings loss, illness, endings, but you are no longer a victim chained to every wave. You are the ocean underneath. This is freedom, not the freedom from every pain, the freedom to not be destroyed by it. So next time suffering knocks on your door, don't immediately reach for the tape to silence the alarm. Open the door. Listen. Maybe life is not against you. Maybe it is simply trying, in a very intense way, to wake you up from the long, boring dream of unconscious living.